Unfortunately, these steps did not land square simply because this it's just the way it goes sometimes, man. Nothing you can do. Call him an old man. I'll tell him that. Ain't bad. Ain't bad. So that geogrid underneath the cobbles is really going to help with stability. What's up, Halford?
Hey, dude.
How was it working with a bag of crap like me yesterday?
Change your pace.
Yeah. You know the soil's good when it still just holds there at that angle. That's perfect too. 2 at the very most. You really don't want to be putting 2 inches of chipstone. What's going on, everyone? It is December 5th, 2024 as I'm editing this video, and I'm done working for the season. We just finished up a big patio last Friday. Today is Thursday, and that job was done, came out great, and we've just been doing some stuff around my house and just wrapping the year up. But I'm pumped for it to be over. It is video editing season now. This was the first job of 2024, as you know if you've been following along, as I slowly update and upload videos of this project. But we're getting into the patio install, and one of the first things we have to do to put the patio down is install a row of cobblestones in concrete, and that's going to hold back the patio and prevent it from wanting to fall down the hill behind the retaining wall that we put in. So that's what this video is going to be about, us prepping and getting ready to install some natural bluestone. It turned out really good. I love using natural bluestone. It's just its own look. And there's a lot of pavers that have been made and developed based on looking like bluestone because it's just that nice of a look. So let's just get into the video, guys. I hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to explain to you what's going on as we get more into the video and as we go. Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, May 3rd. Years flying by, dude. So these cobbles set up overnight. They're looking good. Unfortunately, these steps did not land square simply because this wall that we had to set them to apparently isn't square with the house, bud.
It's not. Looks it, but it's not.
So, as you've seen on time lapse, we were kind of going back and forth with the guideline, trying to figure out what we wanted to do. And the end result was to send this line, which is square with the house, and square with these sonotubes, which is what the customer based his installation of the sonotubes on, was being square with the house. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that top step and we're going to actually cut it right along that line. It may make the top step look a little weird because of that, but I think it will stand out more if we come down and we cut the Bluestone pavers at that angle. So that's going to be the plan. Cut it right on that line. We have a granite tread in the truck that we're going to be putting on this block work, and we're going to cut that tread on that same line too, at which point our patio is going to be square and look square. The only thing that'll look a little bit off is this top step, but I feel like that's the lesser of all the evils, dude, huh?
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes sometimes, man. Nothing you can do except figure out the best option, and that's the best option. I'll tell you what though, dude, this wall pops with loom in front of it and behind it. Man, this thing's silly looking, bro. Jeez. Got these boulders here. Like I said, we're gonna take some rocks from up there and fill in all these voids and make it look a little prettier, but kind of a really steep grade. And instead of having to deal with a bunch of washout, felt like these rocks were the best bet to just kind of help retain the grade. So setting that granite tread in, cutting this step, those are the first things we're gonna do. And then I have more 3/4 stone. We're gonna try to get this area pretty close to backfill to the right height. Let's go grab that tread. I figured we'll take the tread out, put it on the ground, get a bucket of stone and put the tread in the bucket.
That's a good idea.
All right. That guy putting this tread in here really makes me want to do it myself. You gotta stretch though.
It's got that old man strength.
Call him an old man? I'll tell him that. Ain't bad. Ain't bad. Just walking down the hill.
Yeah.
A little bit wider, dude. Those are where my hands are. Yeah. It's when you get to this point right there. Alright. Give her a dump. Hey, hit the NOS button. Hit the NOS button. Alright, Ben's going to get some loom. I'm gonna clean this street up and just start rough grading that stone that I already dumped. So that geogrid underneath the cobbles is really going to help with stability, kind of prevent everything from shifting or leaning. I get comments quite often about how I get my base prepared and leveled off, and honestly I just kind of use the old school tricks of stakes and strings, line levels, and my biggest thing is these screed rail pipes. So I've done so many of these, honestly, that when I'm raking and when I'm looking around, I kind of know my benchmarks and I know what I'm going for, and I'm just really used to it. So I just go and I rake, I get everything kind of to where I want it to be, and I use these pipes as my guide. After I've raked it out, I lay the pipes in on that area that's all set, and it's gonna tell me whether or not I have to go up or down just by setting them in and using my screed level and my regular levels. I can gauge where I'm at. You know, a lot of guys have transit levels and stuff where I'm sure once you get used to that, it's very helpful. And I'm actually getting some tools sent to me pretty soon from Milwaukee, believe it or not. Milwaukee Tools reached out and they want me to test and try a bunch of their new tools for like the concrete industry. And one of them is going to be a rotary laser, so like a transit laser. I'm pretty excited to try that out and see what it's all about. I'm sure when I get used to that, it may be really helpful for preparing the base. But like I said, as of right now, I just kind of go with all the old school tricks, and I've been doing that for years now in this industry. So it's just a matter of raking everything out and checking it little by little, one area at a time. You don't try to overwhelm yourself, just focus on one part at a time, get it right, and then the next part you go to do is going to be easy because that part before it is all set and ready, and you can kind of just keep gauging it by doing that. What's up, Palfred?
Hey, dude.
Hopefully we don't dump the trailer down the hill.
Just make sure you stand on this side.
Yeah, hold it up. How's your trip, dude?
Dump it all.
Yeah, send it. I'm gonna Have you dumped this? I'm gonna put that bucket of crap in here. Have you dump it in my house and then get 3/4.
Okay.
Told you, easy day today. You're just driving around.
Just making trips.
Just driving the rig here and there. This job site's a bit of a struggle because of just how tight it is and the hill, but oh, it's just so peaceful here. Every once in a while you get a truck or a car that comes through, but other than that, just a really chill neighborhood. You know the soil's good when it still just holds there at that angle. A little more. All right. How was it working with a bag of crap like me yesterday?
Change your pace.
Yeah.
Told my wife all about it.
Kyle just wasn't himself yesterday.
He was working with a different person.
I told Liz, I'm like, babe, I actually sat down on the wall on this job site for so long. Benny took a seat next to me.
Closed his eyes.
Yeah. Like, okay, well, I guess it's time for a break. It's funny though, man. I always tell Liz too. I'm like, babe, we don't take lunch breaks. Watch all these guys and these crews, dude. Every day they need their half-hour, 45-minute lunch break, or they're just miserable, sour little freaking guys. We never take lunch break, dude. Never take lunch breaks, dude.
I can't work after I eat.
No. Especially if you post up, dude, and you just freaking devour a big lunch, dude, then you just garbage, dude. You garbage after that. Every once in a while I'll eat something, but it's because we're like on the go and in the truck.
Yeah, and it's something like that on the go.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do lunch. This work's too tough, man, when you get a full stomach. Those are all gone. Just don't bury the roots. Somewhere, wherever is easiest. Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, May 11th, 2024. I'm riding solo today. Ben's at home with the kids. We're going to be laying some bluestone today, finally. Where I left off last time, which was like a week ago or so now, this 3/4 is pretty close to where it needs to be, I think. I haven't checked anything yet, but that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to be starting in this corner here behind me. We're going to lay our first row with that line of the cobbles and top granite step that I cut previously. So this is where we're going to be running our first line. But cutting that step was the best move when it comes to something like this, because this wall was so off square with the house, and we had to lay the granite to that wall. So when we got up here, we had that probably a couple 3 inches off of square. So I'm going to check with my screed rails now, make sure our elevations and slopes are correct with our base stone. If anything's a little off, I'm going to correct it. If I have to add some, I got some extra stone right there. And once all this 3/4 is good to height, I'm going to run it over with my compactor to settle it all down and tighten it up. I got chip stone in the trailer, so let's just get right into it, guys. Man, I just love that wall. So the reason we've been gone from this job again was because I had a retaining wall and a walkway that I just had to get going on. So I rented a mini excavator for a week, got those excavated and backfilled, ready to build on. And there's some roots / stumps from trees that were here before that I wanted to be able to pull out before we put lumen seed down. So perfect timing that I got those jobs excavated, and I got to bring this back Monday afternoon. So Monday I'm gonna go through and rip all the roots and the remainder of the stumps out, and it'll be good for lumen seed on this job, and I won't need an excavator here again. So I got 3 birds with 1 stone on this rental, and that's what I always try to plan for. If I'm gonna actually send it and rent a machine, I try to get as much out of it as possible. So we got a solid 2 inch on the majority of these pieces of bluestone. That one's a little more than 2. This one's a little less than 2, which is the difficult part about laying natural bluestone, is that the height variance can change even on a pallet like this. If you look closely, we got a couple 1.5 inches, we got 2 inches, that one's over 2 inches, that one's 2 on the money. So we're gonna plan our screeding for 2 inches, and if we get one that's really thick, we're gonna have to pull a little bit of chip stone out and lower it. If we got one that's 1.5 inches, we're gonna have to put a little bit of chip stone under it to raise it. It's just the way it goes with natural bluestone. When you get granite, they're usually a little bit more right on the money because they can saw cut it perfect, but bluestone sometimes can shale, and the thicknesses can vary. They're not going to throw a piece out because it's a little less than 2 inches. The installer's just got to use it and do what they have to do. So just a quick note, when natural stone comes on a pallet like this, any size, they call it pattern stock. Typically pattern stock is about 1.5 inches. Sometimes you get 1 inch, which is too thin to lay on like dry stone, and like these particular ones were 2 inch. But most of the time it's going to be 1.5 inches when you buy natural pattern stock, whether it's granite, limestone, bluestone, whatever. So what I'm going to be doing on this screed here, so it's easier to check with my rails, is I'm just going to mark 2 inches right on it. So for a 2 inch mark, okay, I'll do it on this side too, so I can see. Now that I have that mark on the screed, wherever I go towards any benchmark I'm trying to hit, I'm going to be trying to make that about 1/8 to 1/4 inch higher than the benchmark, to account for some compaction. What I mean by that is, if you see that line there, I'm going to set my screed rails in so that Sharpie mark's just above the granite. And then once I got that benchmark hit, we're going to want to make sure that we have our 1/8 of a slope like you see in there. So even just by putting the screed rail down, looking like I'm pretty close. Let's check this one out. It's at a slightly more than an 1/8. That's perfect. Now, that's perfect too. And if you look over here, you can see that line is about right in between 1/4 and an 1/8, so that's a good height right there. We're looking good. Now, check up here. We've got our 1/8. We want to make sure this pipe's going an 1/8 as well. Perfect. Now we want to go from this pipe to the next one. Again, nice 1/8. And we'll go on this one completely. Another good 1/8. Check this to this. Another good 1/8. Actually, don't think I set this one in at all either. Perfect. Okay. Now we want to check on the cobblestones. It's looking really good. So there's our 1/8. And that line is just about perfect. Slightly above the cobble. When I go to screed, I'm obviously going to put an actual pipe in, but I'm just going to check this right now. So from here to here, we're actually sloping this way and this way. So what I'm going to do is put that line just above the concrete to the pipe. There you go. Perfect 1/8. Coming this way, which will meet up with this grade, and it's also going to be sloped towards this granite. What these 4 pipes just told me is that this entire area is good to be compacted. And then when I go to put these pipes in, if I have to slightly bring them up a little bit, which is better than having to go down, I can put some chipstone underneath the pipes and set them to the correct height. You can have like 1.5 inches of chipstone, 2 at the very most. You really don't want to be putting 2 inches of chipstone. It's just not as stable as the base stone. 1 inch to 1.5 inches is all you want for your bedding stone. But anyway, these 4 pipes, this is how I get my grades. It pretty much takes the place of a transit. I'm really used to raking stone out, as you can tell. All this stone here is how it was when I raked it out and left it. I didn't check it, nothing. I'm just really used to doing this type of work. So after I rake it and throw these pipes down, that's it. That's all I need to do to gauge the height. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take those 2, leave these ones in because we know those are correct to height or really close. Take those 2 and move them over here and check this section. And if this section's good, then I know I'm good again. And then I'm going to leapfrog the pipes one more time. And once I do that, I'll know from here over the base stone is correct. No need for a fancy transit. Don't even need to check with lines and strings. It's literally all by eye and by feel of raking, checking all your benchmarks, knowing where you are, and just experience. Some people overthink this process, and all it does is it just ends up taking more time out of your day, and it also makes you spend a lot of money on tools that you don't necessarily need. That's at 1/8. That's at 1/8. Perfect. And if we go like this, just to make sure what 1/8 is going to be, set that to 1/8. And you can see our bluestone line, that's going to be about a couple inches lower than our door. And that's what we're going for. Simply because if we try to tuck it right up against that door, if it moves or lifts a little bit in the winter, you're not going to be able to open and close it. Let's check this one again. Perfect. That one's a perfect 1/8. We're looking good, guys. We're looking good. I'm going to do this one more time. Take these pipes now, put them here, and if that's good, bang. I'm going to compact this entire area, and then I'm ready for screeding. So one of the many things I haven't had time for, I have a pallet of some really cool tools I'm looking forward to trying out. I'm starting a collaboration partnership with Milwaukee, just kind of testing out their tools for the concrete / hardscaping industry. And they sent me a compactor about the same size as this, that's battery. They sent me a saw, same size as my steel TS420. It's got a 14-inch blade, that's battery. And they also sent me a transit, or a rotary laser, like I was talking about earlier. So 3 really cool tools I'm looking forward to trying out. I just haven't got around to it. They're literally on the pallet, still wrapped in shrink wrap. Haven't opened it up. It's been there for like probably over a week now. Actually about 2 weeks, I'm thinking. But this compactor is incredible. It's really old. Bought it from my buddy. Hooked me up. Awesome deal on it. Honda engine. Fires up no problem all the time. Choke on. Throttle halfway. So I hope that explanation of how I get my bass stone to the proper height and pitch was helpful. I get a lot of comments about that on how I do it. So I wanted to break it down in a lot of detail on how I do that. Because your bass stone needs to slope just the same way that your patio is going to slope in the end. The next step in the process is putting the screed rails back down on our compacted bass stone, getting them just right, screeding, and then we can lay our bluestone. But that's not going to be in this video. I'm going to end this one here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, I hope you learned a little bit about how I get my bass right. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Hit that like and subscribe button for a lot more content like this. But you guys already know the deal. Until the next one, God bless. Peace.